Hello and welcome back to the channel. So today what I'm going to do is work on the SL. So what I'm going to do is I've got it round the back of the garage, and what I'm experiencing is tail light. I'll show in a minute. 3 of the LEDs aren't working essentially. So what I'll be looking to do today is just replace this, show how that's replaced. In terms of other things on the car, there's not really much else that was wrong with this. Towing eye covers, so the front one was missing. I've got a new one of those. Took that rear one off just to give to Carl, and he's going to get the make sure the paint codes are correct in that, and get the front one painted up for me. In terms of the interior, again, there's only less than 32,000 miles on this, so really nice in here. I did end up buying some new mats for it, so there was 150 quid. These are used mats as well, but to me, had to be done. Can't have a car with no front mats. And then also 50 quid, or might have even been 70 quid actually, but cup holders in here. So believe it or not, they were an optional extra, and it's literally just, they just clip in and out, as simple as that. Same with the centre one. But yeah, again, something that I really just wanted to get. And just to show the issue I've got, so it's literally 3 LEDs here that aren't lighting up, and that's triggering a fault as well in the inside. So managed to get a second-hand unit, so once that's fitted, obviously going to check that. Hopefully that's all good, and that'll get rid of my issue. So with this, what I'm going to do is just unpack the new unit. Going to, from that, get an idea of what we're up against, where the bolts are. I think there's only 2 bolts on this. Right, so this is the new unit, or new second-hand unit. Obviously proper Mercedes one, and it actually looks in really good condition. With tail lights, you don't normally get the same issues as you get with headlights, so to be fair, as long as it looks right, it should be right on my tail light, but that definitely doesn't go for the headlights. So just make sure that if you're getting a headlight, it does match in terms of your part numbers on there, such as these here. But yeah, we should be pretty good with this. And as I say, it's literally, it looks like it might even just be the one actual bolt there. The others are like these little clip things, so that's potentially a bonus. Could be a nice easy one. One thing I would say as well is when you do get lights, or even if you're selling them, this guy fortunately has packaged this really well. He's chucked loads of bubble wrap on there, that's why I cut the video and then came back to it once I'd unpacked it. But you really do need to do that, because you won't get insured through the postage service for any kind of lights like these. And obviously we all know how postal services treat packages, so yeah, just one for everyone to make a note of. In terms of getting to this now, so I think it's as simple as this unclips, which I've already kind of pulled this off once just to have a quick nosy, and then it's literally going to be then this hole here, where you can see the little red section there, and you can see the bolt on there. So all it's going to be is me undoing that bolt, and then theoretically, because on the other side here you've just got these clips, it should just slide out. But what I'll do is try and set the camera up, and hopefully it's going to be as easy as that for me to do. Okay, so it's as simple as there's one nut on the back of this light fitting, so undoing that nut and making sure I do not drop it, because I did this, so ended up having a bit of a nightmare dropping it into the cavity, and then obviously that meant then an additional section to this, which was fishing that out with the magnetic extension bar. Fortunately, you can get in there, so it's not too bad, but obviously if you can avoid this section, then yeah, do. So now moving on to actually getting the lights out of position. So once you've undone that nut, it's a case of pulling up the seals from the top of the light fitting. These are just Weber seals for the actual boot itself. And then once you've done that, you've got the 2 sort of tabs that then slot into some clips on the far side. So what you want to do is just prise them apart. Once you've prised them apart, it'll just pop out
and you can then just pull the whole light unit towards you, and just bear in mind you will have the loom itself still attached to that, so you don't want to pull it too far out. Make sure you actually unplug it, and then it's free from the actual car itself. And so fitting the new one is as simple as doing the reverse of what you've just done. So what you want to do is make sure you're lining up the actual thread from the light fitting itself that you'll be getting your nut on. So lining that up in that hole, and then also then you've got your 2 clip sockets, if you like, and you'll be pushing in then those tabs into those clips. You'll hear them seat when they go in there, and physically the unit won't physically move once it is slotted in there. Obviously as well, do make sure that you remember to physically plug it in electrically, and then ideally you want to be testing it before pushing it into place to make sure it's working, but I forgot to do that on this occasion.
Right, so that's that tail light back in now, and literally it was as easy as that. Obviously I've got now just put my nut back on, which is just going to be through there. Quite hard to show on here, but hopefully I don't drop that like I did when I took the other one out. Before we do that, we'll test it. So I'm just testing this unit now, and as you can see there, I've been sold a Duff one. It's got more out on this than they had on mine, so that'll be going back. So always very annoying. Fortunately, this is what you get when you buy second-hand cars parts sometimes, but yeah, that's how it should be. The left-hand side, and that's the second-hand unit. As I say, it was the 3A on my other one that went, but yeah, I'll be getting sent back, and looks like I'll be getting another one ordered.
Okay guys, before we get back into the video, if you could hit that like and subscribe, it'd be very much appreciated. And yeah, I'll see you fast forwarding in time when I'm back with a new unit.
Right, so we're back with the Merc, and we're actually going to be looking at getting the light fitted again. So obviously I had the first light where the LEDs were as bad as they were on this one, 3 of them out. Now got a second-hand one. Unfortunately, I've got a bit of a crack on the lens just about here on this other one that was done during postage, so that's really annoying. But I've tested it all out, all the LEDs work, so plan of action is going to be pull this off, have a go at taking the lens off this one. If I can get it off this one okay, I'll swap the lenses over. If not, I'm going to have to kind of super glue that, and there'll just be a fine line there that'll be visible, but that's going to be the protocol for today, and hopefully I'll finally get tail lights that work on this. Right, so just looking at the back of the light here now, I've no idea exactly how you get this lens off, but I'm going to start by just taking each of these screws out. I'll have a see where I get to with that. I've got a feeling I might need to apply some heat around the actual lens body itself, and then try and pull it out from that. But we'll see where we get to once these are undone, and go from there. Yeah, so I had a feeling it wouldn't be quite that simple. I'm assuming what that is that these ones release your inner sort of LED circuit boards from the unit, so there's nothing to do with obviously your lens itself. So what I'm going to do is put those three back in for now, and then I'm going to apply some heat evenly around here just with a heat gun, and I'll start prying that to see whether I can get it to release at all. And then, all being well, I'll be able to release that from that. If I get this off and this survives, then I'll start with the one that's got the broken lens, get that off, and then it'll be the same process in reverse to fit it. Basically apply heat around all of it, get the glue nice and warm, squeeze it together, make sure there's some pressure on it for the first sort of 5 minutes, and hopefully it'll take it, and we'll have that all back together in one piece.
Right, so I actually started having some success here. I've got enough heat applied to the lens itself to be able to sort of just crack off that glue from the front section to the back. I wanted to try and be as quick as I could because these cool down really fast, so the more heat you've got on there the better, but then at the same time too much heat applied too closely and you can actually melt the plastic as well. But then as I actually got round to the other side, I should have applied a little bit more heat, maybe took a step back and started applying more heat, because bang, I cracked the actual front lens. Luckily this was a unit that had already failed anyway. I hadn't done it to the new second-hand unit that I'd got to replace this. It wasn't the end of the world, but obviously it's then put me in a position where I won't be able to replace this lens for the one that was already damaged. So I'm going to have to put up with that little hairline crack now and just glue that corner piece in place.
So a bit of a nightmare of a job, this one. What should have been a nice easy job, nice simple job. It's literally one nut to take the tail light out and then plug as well for the loom. But yeah, I hit a snag with the first one, having that defect, which was very similar to the fault I already had. To be fair though, the company that actually provided me with that unit, when I told them, they actually refunded me the full amount. So really good of them. I didn't actually lose out on anything. I just sent it back, free postage, and got my money back. Obviously time spent trying to do it, messing about, and then sourcing another one meant a few weeks, but it's not the end of the world. The second one that I got, unfortunately, yeah, it did get damaged in the post, so really annoying that. The company again, got hold of them, all done through eBay, these as well, and they actually agreed to half the price of the product, having that damage on there, which is not the end of the world, but ideally, obviously, I was swapping this, I was wanting the car to look as good as possible, and it now has that crack because I wasn't able to do the lens swap that I was hoping to do. But yeah, it was a success in the end. It's just this little bit of a hairline crack that I'm now just going to have to put up with for the foreseeable. I'll get back to some defects on this car that need sorting out next. So yeah, next video will be finishing touches really. A few issues that I've got with it, which are the air scarves. I have been playing up for a long while now, so I've actually ordered an air scarf module, so I'll go through the process of swapping that. And then the only thing left to do then is the tailgate supports. They're dying, and yeah, it's only a matter of time before they fully go, I would imagine, so that's the next job as well. But then once they're all done, it'll be a completely fault-free car, so looking forward to that. Thank you again very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.